Welcome to the Deep Dive.
Hello.
Today, we're getting into something super relevant, I think, for a lot of people.
Definitely.
Juggling a job, dreaming of maybe something more. We're exploring the world of side hustles.
Mm-hmm.
Specifically, we're looking at this podcast called Side Hustle Diaries.
Right. We've gone through their website info, looked at their episode list.
Yeah, dug into the descriptions.
And the goal here really is to give you a quick tour. Like, what's this show about? Who's behind it?
Eileen and Christine, the hosts.
Exactly. And maybe the most fascinating part, the sheer range of side hustles they cover. It's pretty amazing.
So our mission is basically to unpack it for you. Understand the core idea, who the hosts are, why they do it.
And then showcase that variety. Think of this as like the highlight reel you'd get if you scrolled through their stuff yourself. We're just pointing out the really interesting bits.
Okay, let's jump in then. So the core idea of Side Hustle Diaries. It's women, right?
Yep, women who have full-time jobs, often pretty demanding ones.
But they're also building something else. Successful side businesses, income streams.
Yeah, legitimate ventures.
Yeah.
And the podcast doesn't just, talk about it vaguely.
No, the hosts, Eileen and Christine, they actually interview these women.
They get into the nitty-gritty, the strategies, the hurdles they faced.
The wins, too, hopefully.
Oh, absolutely. The triumphs. And they pull out practical tips, things you might actually use if you're thinking along these lines.
The whole vibe seems to be about empowerment. Like, hey, maybe you could do this, too.
Exactly. Eileen and Christine are sort of the guides on this journey, pulling out these stories.
They're steering the ship, bringing these experiences to the listeners.
That's it. Sharing those diverse lessons learned.
So what does that actually look like?
Bora.
Let's get specific. We pulled examples straight from their episode list.
And this is where it gets really interesting. The breadth of ideas is kind of staggering.
It really makes you rethink what a side hustle even means today.
Totally. The range is huge.
Okay, first one. Episode #10. Firdoz Mohammed, her day job. Customer success manager. Sounds pretty standard corporate stuff.
Right.
Her side hustle. A mobile notary business.
Mobile. Okay, interesting.
Yeah. The description mentions how she manages that alongside the full-time gig. What makes it pick?
That's a great example, taking something traditional, like a notary.
And adding that convenience factor, making it mobile.
Yeah. Makes you wonder about the logistics, how she finds clients. Do people specifically search for mobile notaries?
Good question. The description says they talk about what it takes to run it, so maybe they cover that.
Okay, cool.
Then there's episode #9, Kaong. She works on a real estate team.
Mm-hmm.
Her side thing, home staging. Her business is called Harmony Home Stage.
Ah, okay, that makes a lot of sense.
Right. Leveraging her real estate knowledge, her connections.
Exactly. It's a really complementary service. Seems like a smart, natural fit. They probably talk about how she grows it, too.
Yep. The description mentions creating those sellable spaces and growing the company. Now, here's one that really caught my eye. Episode #8, Kiara Wilson. Starts in corporate tech.
Okay.
Falls in love with reformer Pilates. Becomes an instructor, on the side.
Right, a common path.
But get this. She now owns and manages a Body Our Rock studio. A franchise.
Wow, seriously. From tech job to fitness studio owner.
Initially alongside the tech job, yeah. It went passion to teaching to actual ownership.
That's a serious trajectory from just like in a workout to, well, running the place. And a franchise, too, that adds complexity.
Totally. It shows how a side thing can really evolve, maybe become the main thing eventually.
Which definitely underlines that potential.
Okay, next up, episode #7. Lily Tran.
Oh.
Loved planning events. Turned it into Slay Events, a wedding planning boutique.
Nice.
And the description mentions not just building the business, but also trying to make the whole wedding industry more community-driven.
Oh, interesting. So there's a mission baked in. It's not just about the income, but about improving the space she works in.
Adds another layer, doesn't it?
It really does.
Episode #6, Liwei Yang. Another tech worker story, but different angle. Experienced major burnout.
Oh, wow. Okay. Been there.
Right. That tough experience led her to become a heart-centered life coach.
A life coach?
Specifically for Asian millennials. The description really leans into her personal transformation, developing whole new skills.
That's powerful. Turning something really difficult like burnout into a way to help others who might be facing similar things.
Yeah, and it highlights something important. Not all side hustles are about using your existing job skills.
Right. Sometimes it's about deep personal insights or learning something completely new.
Then episode #5, Kathy Lim, full-time nurse.
Okay. Demanding job.
Very. Her side hustle, modeling.
Whoa, okay. Nursing and modeling.
Yeah. And she focuses on editorial shoots, specifically around sustainable fashion and animal rights.
That's quite the combination. A caring profession, then something so creative and visual, and with an ethical focus, too.
It really speaks to, needing different outlets, maybe, for different parts of yourself.
Absolutely. Balancing those different drives.
Moving on, episode #4, Annie Nishida. She's a writer for TV and streaming.
Cool job.
Yeah, her side hustle. Creating and selling her own artwork.
Ah, another creative outlet.
Exactly. Finding that fulfillment outside the main writing gig. And selling it different ways, zine fests, online.
That feels very relatable, finding a different creative channel when your day job is also creative, but maybe in a structured way. And using events, not just online, that's smart too.
Then episode #3 gets into something really unique. Audrey Folk. She's an entertainment studio stage manager.
Okay, high pressure.
Yeah. Her side hustle, she's a soccer card breaker.
A what now?
A soccer card breaker. Opening packs of sports cards live online.
No way.
Yeah, on social commerce platforms.
Yeah.
So she's tapping into that whole collectibles world, balancing being a fan, a businesswoman, and entertainer.
That is genuinely wild. A soccer card break. I mean, talk about niche. It just shows you the potential is everywhere, combining interests with performance, using these very specific online platforms. Wow.
Totally wild. Okay, almost there. Episode #2, Jessica Cho. Quality and systems engineer in aerospace.
Wow. Okay. Sounds intense. Rocket science adjacent.
Pretty much. Her side hustle. A bachelorette Etsy shop.
Get out.
Yeah.
Aerospace engineer to bachelorette party supplies.
Yep. The episode talks about how she got the idea, sourcing materials, optimizing for Etsy sales,
Yeah.
the practical stuff.
That's brilliant, though. Maybe using those analytical engineering skills,
Could be.
but applying them to a fun niche market on a platform like Etsy, finding that specific need and nailing the e-commerce part. Love it.
And finally, episode #1, Elisa Sunga, UX program manager by day,
Okay, tech again.
and a baking content creator on the side, sharing her baking on Instagram.
That feels very accessible. Lots of people bake, right?
Mm-hmm.
So this shows you can just share what you love doing online, build a profile,
And maybe turn it into something more, yeah. A content stream.
just by sharing your passion.
So look at that list again. Mobile notary, home staging, fitness studio owner, wedding planner, life coach, model, artist, soccer card breaker, Etsy seller, baking creator.
Huge.
The sheer variety is it's kind of mind-blowing.
It really is.
These aren't just random ideas. They're coming from real people, using skills they have, pursuing passions, spotting needs.
And the podcast apparently digs into the how for each one, which is key.
So if you take a step back, look at all these examples.
Mm.
Do any patterns jump out?
Oh, definitely. A few things seem pretty clear. First, your day job. It's not just a job, it's like a skill factory.
Mm-hmm.
So many of these women are clearly tapping into professional skills, industry know-how from their 9 to 5.
Like the real estate person doing staging.
Exactly.
Correct.
Or maybe the engineer using her analytical skills for Etsy.
Makes sense.
Another big one, the power of the niche. Like finding your specific corner.
Right. Not just any coach, but heart-centered life coach for Asian millennials.
Precisely. Not just selling crafts, but a bachelorette Etsy shop. Not just modeling, but focusing on sustainable fashion. That focus seems vital.
Helps you stand out in a crowded space, probably.
For sure. And how are they reaching people? It's screamingly obvious online platform.
Yeah, Instagram was mentioned a lot. Etsy, whatnot for the card breaker. Their own websites, too, probably.
These aren't optional anymore, it seems. They are the tools for marketing, for building that community, for
Right.
actually making sales.
And the why behind it all.
Mm.
The motivation. It's not always just money, is it?
No, not at all. We saw passion, like the baker or the artist. Creative fulfillment. Sometimes it's a reaction to something, like the burnout leading to coaching.
Or just that entrepreneurial spark, wanting to build something yourself.
Exactly. But cutting across all of that, the big challenge they all seem to navigate.
The balancing act.
Yes. How on earth do you manage a demanding full-time job and pour the energy needed into building a side business?
That seems to be the central question the podcast keeps exploring. The practical strategies, the mindset, how to make both work.
That's the core dynamic, yeah.
Okay, so let's wrap this deep dive up. Side Hustle Diaries. It's basically a window, right?
Yeah, a window into how women are actually doing this, building income streams, diverse ones, while holding down jobs.
And it really shows you it's possible in so many different fields, often mixing skills you already have with passions or new ideas.
And getting this kind of overview, quickly, it gives you inspiration, but also concrete examples. It takes it from just an idea to, oh, people are really doing this in these ways.
Moves it beyond the abstract.
Mm-hmm.
So let's leave you, the listener, with a thought to chew on. We just talked about this incredible range: mobile notaries, soccer card breakers, life coaches, Etsy sellers, all alongside full-time careers.
Think about your skills, the ones you use every day, maybe some you've forgotten about, and think about your passions, those interests lurking in the background.
What unique combination of your stuff, your skills, your interests might point towards your own potential side hustle?
Did any of these examples spark a little aha moment for you? Something surprising? What could your unique blend look like?